What's going on, everyone? Gelman with the Wellthy Stocks, back with our daily Apple update video, ticker symbol AAPL, where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let me go ahead and hit record, and we will get right into the video. Small green day for Apple. As we talked about yesterday, that's sort of what I was expecting. I was actually expecting a red to small green day. What we got was a decent green to a smaller green day. Nonetheless, small green day. Let's take a look real quick at the overall market. We'll take a look at some news, and then there's some, we'll do our technical analysis, and then we'll talk about some things Apple related. So NASDAQ is down 0.37%. It is hitting up right against that 55 exponential moving average. So keep an eye out on that, you guys, over the next few days, because if you take a look here, right, the last few times we've kind of gone below that, we've gone all the way to the 89 EMA. That would imply a downside of about, let's see, 200 points, which is kind of 4 times the move. So it's not a huge move down, about 1.5% or so, but just keep that in mind. Dow Jones being Dow Jones, right, made a new all-time high today, $343, gave up a lot of that, similar to many of the indices, and then same thing with the S&P. We had ourselves a little red day today, or excuse me, we had ourselves a small green day, but gave up a lot of the gains throughout the course of the day, hence the red candle. So the other thing that I want to kind of talk about is take a look kind of here when we were hovering below the 8, the next day we came above it. So keep an eye out on that. If not, we got run room down to the kind of 413s level if we don't kind of come back above the 8 soon, in my opinion. Coming back to Apple, what happened today? Well, there is an article that I would like to cover. Where is that article? That article is right here, talking about just the general market sentiment for the day. So Dow Jones rose on Yellen comments after, she had commented on some interest rates. So clarified that. We had a little bit of a rise. Dow Jones was kind of the shining star today, though. And Apple, well, rose a little bit, but then gave a lot of that up. Small caps, as we always have seen kind of recently, they struggled, they've been struggling, and then the article also talks about Apple last week tried to clear that 135 point with the cup and handle. For those of you that don't know, a cup would be, it's starting at 135, going down, coming back up to 135, then taking a break, and then when that second kind of push up happens, that's when we're expecting that handle, and if it gets above 135, then it can really take off. Feel free to look up cup and handle if you'd like. We were hoping for that. Unfortunately, there was no follow through. Apple did not break that point. So now let's take a look at how it traded today, and in the pre-market, things look pretty promising, right? We went from kind of the mid 127s, mid 128s, and then right out of the gate, we pushed up, looked really strong there for a minute, beat our target by about 20 cents, right? 130, or our level by 20 cents, came right back down, pushed up, this time perfectly rejected at our level, and then we just sold off. And this was a pretty big sell-off for a day. I mean, it was about $2-ish. Try to come back up, rejected, and then ended the day below that. So obviously, I like that we were slightly green on the day, but what I don't like is the distance between the VWAP and where we ended the day, and the fact that we really sold off to end the day. Those are definitely things that I would rather not see, but unfortunately that's the way that we are trading. If you guys are an Apple shareholder, some small good news is Apple's not great dividend is coming up, so at least if you hold Apple shares, you'll get some dividend there. It's not even close to one of the better dividends I've seen, especially as the price has appreciated. The overall percentage yield, the dividend yield, has gone down, but hey, that's coming in 2 days. So let's take a look here and we'll see what we see. So Apple, not overall, doing too great. We had, sell-off related to post earnings, and then we've been trading in a bull pennant that took us all the way here, and then we struggled to break the 135, right? Talked about that for a few days. We've really struggled to break that, and then post earnings we actually saw a sell-off, and yesterday being a really nasty red day as well. We currently are between the 55 and the 89 EMA with no clear indication of where Apple wants to go. One thing I will say, let's talk about key levels of support, key levels of resistance. I'll pull up another article that talks about a longer term support and longer term resistance, which we've also looked at this channel, but hey, someone else is going to validate that for us. So let's do that. So first level of support, you guys, is this 89 EMA 127.39 and then the 126.65. Take a look at the candle yesterday. Perfectly bounced off of our level. So if we go down there, 126.60s should be a good support point. And below that, we got run room down to 123.69. On the way up, we got the 128s level that we kind of broke below today, mid 128s, 120.54. Then we got the $130.24, which we tried to take over today, but we couldn't. One thing that I'll point out is I don't like the way Apple's candles are looking. We can't seem to hold on to a lot of gains. Actually, that's kind of been the sentiment for the market. I mean, take a look at Amazon too, pretty similar. After even great earnings, it's been selling off. Microsoft, no different there as well. So is there potential downside? I think so, but RSI is not looking too bad. It's at 44. So that's, those are key things to look at there. My goal, if I had to guess, tomorrow, another small green day, we end up between 120 and 130, maybe see a little Friday fade to end the week. But let's take a look at that article that I was talking about and we'll see what that article says. So this article talks about, first and foremost, Apple is a big part of the overall market. We've talked about this over and over again, but it makes up 22% of the S&P technology sector. And so what this article is mapping out is the 137 level as a resistance, which we have as well, or we've talked about as well, right? When we talked about kind of how it failed. For me, 135 is also a really big resistance. I don't know why they don't mention that. If you take a look kind of before that, 135 was a clear resistance other than, the day we kind of just started off at 137 and sold off. What they're talking about is support at 124.50. So they're implying that Apple has a chance to go down a few dollars. And at 124.50, which is where we saw resistance earlier, now is going to be good support. So that would, imply, again, a little bit more of a downside. But I do think that, overall, we've seen the support levels hold up really nicely. So unless we go down to test this 89 EMA and we don't see like a crazy red day tomorrow, I'm expecting 128 to 130 to end the week, and then we'll see what next week brings after that. So not a great trading day for Apple. As I told you guys yesterday, I was able to buy back my covered call that I'd been rolling for like 4 or 5 weeks now. That's the thing with covered calls, you guys. If you have them and pullbacks happen, you can make a little bit of money. It's nothing close to what you'll lose in the overall shares though. Like if you own 100 shares of Apple, right, you lose 137 to 128, so you lose about $900. But if you can get, $100, $200 off of a covered call, that's kind of a done deal. And when Apple goes back to 137, that 200 is locked in profits, and you can now lock in the other profits as well. So it's a matter of how long you plan on holding. I always continue to hold my Apple shares. The reason I haven't added Apple shares recently, I know one of you guys asked me that, is because my portfolio, and I talk about diversifying all the time, my portfolio is already very big tech heavy, and I'm trying to diversify a little bit more, so I'm looking elsewhere. Not to say I don't believe in Apple in the long term. That's why I continue to hold my Apple shares, and I will probably keep buying if it falls into super attractive levels. But for me personally, that's the reason I'm not buying right now. I believe in, as I'm growing as an investor, I'm learning to diversify more and kind of put my money various different places. Right now, it's very, very big tech heavy. So I see swings based on how the NASDAQ is doing rather than a little bit more of what the S&P is doing. So I'm kind of trying to change that. But holding on to every share I have, not planning on selling those and selling covered calls to make some money while we wait and sit around for it to do nothing. So that's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, hope you guys are all having an amazing week. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel down below if you enjoy these videos. Drop a comment what your thoughts on Apple are, as always, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.